Welcome to Duskfall. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Duskfall and welcome to the Stream of Blood. My name is Jared Logan, coming to you live from my new garage studio. We are still working out some of the kinks. I hope everything goes smoothly tech-wise tonight. But at any rate, we're here to play some Blades in the Dark here on the Stream of Blood, a channel where we play tabletop role-playing games, and this is one of the best games to come out in many decades. A completely ingenious rule set designed by the incredible John Harper and the Evil Hat Games. Some of it sort of inspired by some of the great stuff that came out of the Powered by the Apocalypse system. Every time I play this game, I learn something new about game mastering. That's one of the cool things about this game. What can I tell you? Tonight, I've been away for a while, so I feel a little rusty. But I think I'll ease right back into it. We are here tonight with the Kenahora, our friends from Better Than Heroes. They come on over once a month, and they play a crew in our Duskfall setting, the Kenahora. Kenahora meaning without the evil eye. They are a crew of shadows. They are thieves, saboteurs, and spies that operate out of Drakkher's books in Char Hollow. They are mainly of Skovlan heritage and fight for the rights of Skovlan immigrants who are, second-class citizens in Akaros ruled Duskfall in the wake of the Unity War. So that is sort of their MO and their whole milieu. And tonight they are going on a very, very big score to kind of try to stop the relocation of Skovland immigrants into a new ghetto in Dunslow. They were very successful during downtime in sort of raising like a peasant army of Skovlanders who rose up against the police of Duskfall, against the Bluecoats. They had the golem working for them. They had there's a golem, by the way, of course, because when you're using Jewish mysticism, you got to throw a golem in there. And then they stole criminals from another gang and had them working for them. They stole criminals. They stole a gang. That was pretty impressive. Everything was going really well. And then tonight, I got a couple emails letting me know that 2 of our 4 players. So when I lost one person, I was like, no problem. I got 3 players still. 2 of our 4 players have had travel difficulties today. And so they may not be able to make it. But, we understand these things happen. The world is open again. I hope you all are going out and traveling and seeing your family and friends. And of course, if you've ever played a role-playing game at home, you know that the only thing that you could definitely count on happening is one of your people not showing up. Well, we had 2 players come here tonight, and I'd like to just talk about them because they're my stalwarts. I love these 2 people because they showed up for Duskfall tonight. Let's bring them in. This guy, he is a game designer, a GM, who you can see here on the Stream of Blood this coming Tuesday. He's going to GM a game that he designed based on the hilarious podcast that you really should check out by Christian DeGay. It's called Valley Heat. That's the name of the game and the podcast. So he'll be doing that 7 p.m. Pacific this coming Tuesday night. He's just a good pal, and I'm excited he's in Los Angeles. We can play some games in person. Please welcome Andrew Orvedahl, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And congrats on your own new role-playing game player. The worst thing to call a baby.
You design games. I design people.
Oh, that's pretty creepy.
It is creepy. And if I had designed this baby, I wouldn't make so much come out of both ends of it. I wouldn't have made it quite so leaky. But he's very healthy. Oscar's doing fine. Just if anybody out there knows newborns, you know that they sort of leak. So that's the situation. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I had my crazy travel stuff last week when I was supposed to be hosting the show Tuesday. It's bad luck out there on the road. So
we've all forgotten how to travel. We've all forgotten how to travel. We're all like,
I know how to travel, but I drove over a screw and it had to get a whole new set of tires in a town without tires. So
Yeah, but Andrew, I was doing a bit like we're all like driving in reverse now.
That is funny. I wish that was what it was.
It was. Guys, Andrew was he was driving in reverse because he forgot how to drive from one city to the next.
It's taking forever.
And that's where some of our friends are tonight. Well, all well and good, man. Thank you for being here. Let's bring in our next player, our only other player. She is a fantastic role player. You can see her on Better Than Heroes. She has a Magic the Gathering podcast called The Commander's Sphere, and she is here to bring her hound skills to hunt, to snipe. Please welcome Rachel Weeks, everybody.
Hi,
hello,
everybody.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here. I didn't come bearing either babies nor games. So
yeah, but you know what you did. You know what you didn't do. You didn't travel, and that's what we appreciate. You just have nowhere to go, or
no? I did exactly where everyone expected me to be. You know what? It's still quarantine. If you don't like leaving your house,
yeah. One of the great things about having a baby is that you can come to us. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then people come to us. So, but we don't have any visitors yet. Well, thank you for being here, you guys. Let's kind of talk about what the show will look like tonight. But first, let me just give you a recap so we're all on the same page. Last time, you guys had a real bang up of a downtime. You achieved a lot. I talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the show, but during your downtime activities, you managed to kind of acquire a gang. You kind of brought them over from Ulf Ironborn into the Kenahora's side. You also had the golem working for you. Elazar kind of had that happening. By the way, Elazar, of course, played by Aaron Urist, and Poor Violet, played by Jordan Dahl, are the two gentlemen we'll be missing tonight. Aaron might, I don't know, he might pedal to the metal and suddenly pop up on the screen later, but I told him not to worry about it. Anyway, you had the golem working for you. You had a ghost by the name of Lovely Rose, Poor Violet's dead sister, working for you, all to sort of overthrow this program by the Bluecoats, the cops of Duskfall, to relocate the Skovlanders in Char Hollow. And it was really working. I think you got a critical when one of you like kind of tried to start a riot or get the Skovland immigrants of the neighborhood to rise up. And toward the end, you started to make some discoveries. You found out that the Bluecoat authority in charge of this sort of relocation initiative is a guy named Commander Judd Cooper. Commander Judd Cooper. And you found out, I believe it was your character, Urich, Andrew, that found out where he lives. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Or I don't know if it was where he lives, but where they meet, right? It's the Woodall house. It's like an abandoned house in a very swank neighborhood.
Right. I think you also, I think, because I did review our last session. So, yes, you found the Woodall house. You found the Woodall mansion in Six Towers, where the Bluecoats that are kind of like part of this secret cell inside the Bluecoats called The Right, where they meet to have their like very racist, very like, blood purity meetings. You found out about that. And our friend Barrow.
He was outside the window up there meeting.
That's right. The chunky bat.
Barrow, the chunky bat. Your animal companion, Bina Jaffe. He was kind of spying on them a little bit. So he knows, he was watching them there. So ostensibly you guys have kind of staked out that area a little bit. But you also did find out about...
Brightstone apartment over Unity Park.
Yeah, look at that, Bina Jaffe. You're the one with the hunt score, so you hunted that down. That's right. So Brightstone, and an apartment in Brightstone is where the guy that's kind of running this whole operation, where that Bluecoat commander lives. So, given that we don't have the entire crew, we were thinking about maybe going on like a little mini score to set up the other score. That was just something we threw out there.
Urich, Bina, and Barrow are going to crash into the police station.
Yeah.
Right. That's an option. You guys could say, fuck the mansion where the secret cell meets. Screw that guy's apartment. let's just attack the police station.
In the front door.
We're gonna Terminator it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not even joking because the great thing about Blades in the Dark is you don't sit and plan the whole time. So whatever Bina and Urich are doing during tonight's session, that could be some kind of, like you said, setup maneuver, flanking maneuver. It doesn't even have to deal with the Woodall Mansion or Judd Cooper's location at all. You could come up with something else. I would just say, keep in mind, you guys earn XP for espionage, sabotage, or theft because you are shadows. So let's actually throw up, before we even begin to score, I think it helps, if you don't mind, Jill. By the way, let's bring in Jill Pottorff. Jill is our secret GM tonight because also Clinton Trucks couldn't be here. Hey, Jill.
It's me, Clint.
Yes. Oh, you know all of his catchphrases. So Jill's going to be helping us out tonight. And Jill, thank you so much for being the secret GM. And feel free to give me, actually, let me put the show notes open. You can do the same as Clint and give me show notes.
Oh,
do you
man.
have any notes so far?
No, I'm terrified. My hands are trembling a little bit.
Really? Are you that afraid of performance?
A little bit, yeah.
Think of all the people watching you right now.
I know, yeah. It's terrifying. So
yeah.
I'm going to take myself out. Goodbye.
Wait, no. Okay, yeah, you can go. But could you throw up the Kenahora sheet, the shadows sheet for them?
We'll try to find
sheet.
It. Okay.
Take your time. Take your time. Jill Pottorff, everybody. Okay, so we'll just throw up the sheet in a second so you guys know what special abilities you have going into this. That might kind of, but I'll just quit talking now since I've been monologuing for 20 straight minutes and let you guys discuss how you'd like to go about this.
Just to confirm, my character Urich, he has a friend named Beldrin who is kind of lost in this the psychedelic space, and there's this remedy that is derived from the snow petal plant that brings him back. Yeah, and the architect who made the airtight, secure containers for the snow petal plant lives in this Six Towers neighborhood. Also, correct?
The architect.
His name is August Whitecrown. Is that the name?
No, his name would not be August Whitecrown. Whitecrown, in fact, is a neighborhood of the city. But you may be talking about the master architect, who I believe's name is. I will tell you what his name is. Let's look at this shadow sheet just very briefly. Could you make it a little bigger, Jill? Yeah, okay, here we go. So you guys, you're slippery. Oh, that's a downtime ability, and so that doesn't matter. And your layer is a jumble of stolen items when you need to acquire it. That's also a downtime ability. So that doesn't matter quite as much. But you are very close to a new special ability. So you should make sure that whatever you do tonight, whatever approach you choose for this score, you choose something that in some way involves espionage, sabotage, or theft. We can take that down. Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind, if you could bring up Elazar's sheet, because he's the one that this would matter for, or maybe even the leech sheet for, let me see, for our friend Urich here, because Urich is a leech. He's a master of poisons, yes? Mm-hmm. And the master architect that built this place, this garden in the middle of the city, this park. Yes. Let's go a little closer there to the clever friends. Veldrin of Succonaut, Jewel of Blood Leader. No, actually, I'm so sorry. It's the spider sheet. I need Elazar because a master architect is on that sheet, and I believe his name is August, but I have to make sure. Yes, if you could just zoom in my friend Jill, and scroll down to the bottom left if you don't mind. Okay, yeah, so you see there, August, I was right. Wow, I'm glad we went through all of that so that I could be correct. August, a master architect, is the guy that built the place. Perhaps he probably does have a house in Whitecrown. And the park we're talking about is, and the reason, one of the nice things about the Blades of the Dark game is it gives all of the neighborhoods. You have the whole setting in addition to all of the rules. And I think it's called Giant Park, but let me make sure. So there are,
Yeah.
because there's no sun, because the sun was blotted out 1,000 years ago when the gates to the land of the dead were blown open by heroes that messed up a long time ago. There is no natural vegetation in Duskfall. And so there are places like Giant Park where scientists have sort of engineered strange plants that they can now, cultivate. And that is what Giant Park is. It's like this sort of poisonous park covered in sort of like a glass enclosure so that people can't get poisoned by the plants inside of it. And somewhere in there, according to Melvier, a physiker, that's Bina's friend, there is the plant that he uses to make your good buddy and the person you owe sort of a life debt to, Urich, lucid. Are you suggesting to forget the blue coats altogether and go after your friend's antidote tonight?
No, I screwed up. I thought that they were in the same neighborhood. For some reason, I thought that this architect was also where the cops are meeting, but it sounds like the architect lives in White Crown and the cops meet in Six Towers.
They are unrelated plots. They are not. They were
Okay.
just different opportunities.
Somehow I remembered them being the same neighborhood, which is incorrect. So no, I do not want to do that.
I mean, maybe they were, but it's really, it doesn't. Are you saying you want to? Why are you asking if they're in the same neighborhood? I don't know.
Because I thought that we could do recon on the house where the evil cops / cops meet, and and I could case out this architect's house, but it sounds like that we can't.
The old player thing of, can I do everything?
Yeah,
give me 5 options, and I want to do options 1 through 5. And I also want it to be successful and easy. So, no, if we're doing a score tonight, and we are going to do a score, I think you guys need to make some tight choices. We can just talk about. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Bina. Go ahead.
That's okay. It feels like it based on our resources, it feels like some sort of sabotage on Mr. Cooper here is a good way to do this, right? So some sort of, like, we could make him real sick so he can't be at the cop fight, or or we could lock him in his apartment. I think make him real sick is closer to your skill set, so
yeah,
perhaps that's the way to go.
I will say locking him in his apartment sounds hilarious.
Pretty funny.
I mean, that's just more of an inconvenience, really.
Yeah, I don't know if that will keep him there. I'm just Bina's
let's talk about this.
You know.
Let's talk about this. I think this might help you as your GM. What you're really looking for as Skovlanders, part of a Skovland gang, is some way of ending this entire initiative to relocate your countrymen. Mm-hmm. So that's a big goal, which I think makes it for a big, nice score. Yeah. So if we assume that maybe your teammates are going after, the meeting of the right, and you guys are maybe going after this commander, we can find out how you somehow change the blue coat policy so that they end this relocation program tonight. That sounds like a lot to bite off. It might involve locking him in a room. We don't know yet. Is that kind of the goal that you're going to kind of go for with your score, or is it something different?
Yeah. That was definitely my thought. I mean, anything we can do to either separate the commander from his troops here, or to I don't know if we can scare him. That doesn't seem like in either of our best interests, or also slippery, or anything to do with shadows. So we're talking about, do we know what the motivation is to move them to the ghetto?
Yeah, great question. You maybe don't, and maybe you could find that out during tonight's score as well, right? So why don't we just do this right now? Let's just start the Blades in the Dark planning. We're going to agree he's the target in some way. Is that agreed? The commander of the Blue Coats who's doing this?
Yes, that'll be the target of our score.
Yeah, does that sound right to you, Urich?
Yes.
Okay,
and
great.
Speaking in character, I think that we should cut the head off of this snake. I don't think scaring him will work, and I don't think, as we saw with the professor, we tried to scare him into having a tolerant view on Skovlanders, and it ultimately
The
it was
poisons expert wants to poison him.
The gloves, the gloves are off. I hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
All we have to do, we don't have to plan anything. All we have to do, the great thing about Blades in the Dark, all we have to do is decide on an approach. So your flank of the Kenahora is going after Commander Judd Cooper of the Bluecoats. Are you going to use pick one of these approaches? Assault, deception, occult, social, stealth, or transport? This is just your approach. It's how you're approaching the score.
Bina, your forte is stealth, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely stealth or hunt, so I can like find stuff and I can sneak into stuff. Those are
I'm kind of sneaky myself, so
I think
vote
stealth is good for shadows.
Cool.
I love stealth. Okay, so now you just have to give me the detail of the stealth. So you're gonna tell me one thing about his apartment or the precinct or how you're getting in. Let me see here. The detail for stealth would be, yes, here we go. The point of infiltration. What is your point of infiltration to get at Commander Judd Cooper?
I mean, we know where he lives. Is that where we want to try to get him?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, great. So
do you mean like how we get into the apartment, or do you mean?
Yeah,
like...
I think we can even go that far. How are you getting in?
It's overlooking, or it's next to Unity Park. Is a tree through the window an option here?
I think that
since he's Parkside.
He is Parkside, and Unity Park.
It's a beautiful apartment.
Oh
I mean, if we
what a great question, Rachel.
After we kill him,
I was about to go. Yes, you can use a tree, and then I realized I had just gone on for 5 minutes about how there are no plants. So actually,
there's no trees. What a grim
there are no
world
trees.
This is.
It's very grim, but you know what there is, and I mentioned this last time. There's a huge monument to the Akarosi who defeated the Skovlanders in the Unity War.
That's shaped like a tree made.
Oh yeah.
No, it's actually shaped like this big like kind of like Akarosi like imperial like guardsman like shoving his halberd into like a Skovlander at his feet.
We're going to vandalize that. We're going to vandalize that.
Definitely going to take a pee on that thing.
Yep.
No problem.
So we're
going to decorate it with guano.
So much. Boy, you wouldn't believe how Barrow shits.
Well,
just
that's high up, and that can serve as the kind of like the tree you're talking about. Okay. Does that sound like your point of infiltration? If you can climb up onto it, it is level with what you know to be his window. He has like a big, beautiful bay window, like in like the let's see what floor of the apartment it is. The 5th floor of the apartment. Now you're saying
I was hoping for
a 5-story tall statue. You ask? Welcome to Duskfall, where physics is. I think that's a fantastic detail that they owned you so much in the Unity War that they built a 5-story statue to commemorate it.
It's like his lance just goes up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah,
like a fire ladder.
That's right. So now that we have our approach and our detail, I need to know your loadout. Loadout will tell me how much equipment you can kind of have on you the whole time. So, and you know that the difficulties of having a lot of equipment are sometimes I can make things harder because you're encumbered. Sometimes I can make it harder for you to kind of blend in or move quietly. So what are you thinking? Light, normal, or heavy for this?
And we have to pick the same, correct?
I believe that you can actually go separate. I mean, I'm allowing people to go separate.
I mean, there's climbing gear on here. I just would certainly want that. I don't know. What do you? I would say normal, because stealth. I picture having big old bulging backpacks as being bad.
Certainly not heavy. I think normal's gonna have to be the way.
Normal
For
sounds
Bina
good.
as
I don't.
well.
I don't think it's likely to screw you in any way, but I reserve the right to use it to do so. Okay. So now, so you have your normal loadout, which I think lets you as the score goes on, you can pick out 5 items, right? And why don't you go ahead and check off that climbing gear right now, Mister Urich,
Yeah, I'm bringing
because
that. It looks
you're
like
going to
it takes
need that
2.
to get up on that statue.
Okay, got it.
And now I am going to do our engagement roll. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to say he's not expecting you. That's going to give you a die. You guys had an incredible downtime last time. You got so much intel, and then Rachel remembered it, and that counts for a die too. I'm giving you a die for that. Let's see. Anything else? Other than that, I don't know if you quite know what your plan is yet. So I think I'm just gonna roll those 3. I'm saying you're not attacking them in their HQ, so it's not really that dangerous. You're attacking him in his apartment, but he is technically higher tier. I'm gonna roll 2 dice for you, and the engagement roll, if you recall, that is the roll that finds out if things start out in a controlled situation, a risky situation, or a desperate situation. So if I don't roll a 5 or a 4, 5, or 6 here, you might be in a situation with some problems going on. But if I roll 2 6s, you guys are in a completely controlled situation, and you're getting into the apartment, no problem, easy. Okay, let's see here. So here we go. Here's the engagement roll.
Oh boy.
I rolled 2 3s.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That means bad result. You're in a desperate position when the action starts. And so I am going to narrate that the 2 of you and Barrow are up on the arm of this Unity War statue, kind of hanging on to the spear, looking over at the window where you have to run to get in. But beneath you, you missed a blue coat patrol. They just managed to spot you climbing up on the statue. And you are also in Brightstone, so you're in a very hoity-toity part of town where these kinds of shenanigans are not appreciated. And so I can tell you that there are 2 blue coats beneath you. One is blowing his whistle, and the other one is kind of he's touching his sidearm.
Oh, they already see us?
Oh, it's a desperate situation.
Oh, okay.
They see you. I rolled 2 3s. They see you, and they're like, "You get down from there! Don't make us shoot you down!" And now I ask you, what are you going to do?
What a great question.
Okay, can I buy a flashback?
Yes. Okay, great. So one of the best things about the system are the flashbacks. You'll take stress depending on how unlikely or difficult it was to set up this flashback. But tell me, what is your flashback?
First, let me see if I'm going to have what I need. Forgive me. The shaded stuff on your equipment does not count against your loadout, right? You just always have that stuff, or am I incorrect?
Let me take a look. I think that there are things that you just always have, but I need to take a look at the sheet. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure that's how I remembered. Someone in chat will chime in. Right.
Yeah.
Away. So here's the flashback that I'm pitching. Actually, no, it's such a bad idea. No.
It's too late now. We need help.
It's so bad. Okay. Fuck it. I can't think of anything else. In this flashback, thinking that someone could surely come underneath the statue while we're climbing up, and it's knowing that it's just the 2 of us, I have spread fire oil kind of liberally around this monument, and these blue coats are standing on that patch, and I'm going to fire a charge down there and ignite it.
That's amazing. That costs you 2 stress because that's pretty easy to do. So take 2 stress for that. Actually, you know what? That's so easy to do, Andrew. Take 1 stress for that. I apologize.
Great.
Yeah, I think.
And I'll say, if I can say this, I don't normally smoke, but I had like a cigarette as we're doing this because I knew that I could be hanging, and I'll just kind of give it a little spit.
Great. So please narrate while I make a clock that's like the target is aware of you.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like hanging on this with the cigarette in my mouth and kind of like waiting for them as they're like, oh, get down from there. And I know exactly kind of where I'd spread the oil. So I'm just sort of waiting like, come on, just come 1 foot over. I'm like, right, one second. And then kind of just spit the little rolled cigarette out, and I watch it just kind of tumble, trailing a few sparks as it goes down, and then
no action roll necessary. You paid for it with the stress of the flashback. Suddenly all of the fire oil ignites. Because you kind of spread it out evenly around the square, it's not enough to like kill them in a burning inferno, but it is definitely enough to like make them go, good Lord, oh man, and then kind of back up and like run off for a second, maybe to regroup or get back up. Now, if you want them to be burning and dying, maybe I will ask for an action roll. Would you prefer them to be being burnt alive right now, Urich?
How far away are we from the balcony of where we want to be?
Well, let's just say, because it's a desperate situation, you're in having to jump and do very well at that distance.
But I think that they will be like kind of. I would have bought us a little window of time. You've
bought time right now. So
yeah, I'll kind of like whisper to Bina, like, I think I bought us 10 seconds.
Maybe more. Who knows? Definitely one guy is like, they're around the corner, like one's beating the other's coat out because it was like fully inflamed. And so, yes, you are unwatched and unmolested as you make your ingress into this man's private quarters somehow. And and how will you do that? I guess I'll describe the peril, and you can decide how to handle it. The very top of the spear, the halberd, like if you stand on the tip of it, you just kind of have to leap over, and it's so close, guys. It's so close that a human can definitely do it. It's just they have to be good at doing that kind of stuff. Sure. I'm gonna call it since you started in a desperate situation, a desperate roll, because if you fail, you'll probably fall and take damage of some sort.
We're 5 stories.
I'm gonna call it desperate.
I think it's beyond stress at 5 stories.
Yes, absolutely.
Would part of my climbing gear that I said that I brought would surely be a rope, right? If not like a rope and a hook that I would, if I could like clink, and then I'd like to, do an almost Indiana Jones like swing. And I'm cool with even, I'll swing low, and then maybe I could like climb up. We could both climb up, right?
Okay, great. So we're using the gear, right?
Yes.
I think I'm going to say then if you're using the gear, I'll allow you to move that to risky. Okay. And I'm going to say that it will have standard effect. It won't get you all the way through the window. It won't get you inside, but it'll get you over there and kind of on a ledge where you can kind of work.
Great.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do double jeopardy like, you play some role-playing games and they make every single person roll climb. No. Who's leading this?
I mean, Bina is better at it, probably.
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, if you have the climbing gear, but
he can give it to you.
Yeah, I would certainly be leading this charge, I think.
Okay, great. Do you want to assist her, Urich? And you could say no. Like, she could just literally be taking you like your Lois Lane in her arms and swinging you across.
Does that cause me stress to do that?
On my front. Yes.
You could take a stress and you could give Bina 1 die.
And I would also get across with her?
And you would get across with her. That's right.
Sure, I'll do it.
Great. Okay. Bina, what are you going to roll to get over there?
Can I use prowl for this? Is that like
That's
I
a
mean, we're trying
perfect
to
use
be-
of prowl. Yeah,
Great, let's
perfect.
do it. So it's 1 dice for
And
my
I'm definitely going
prowl.
full piggyback.
Oh yeah,
right
well you're
over
on the front
top.
because Barrow's on
Oh,
the
I'm
back.
in the front. Okay, cool. Baby Bjorn style.
Baby Bjorn.
No, it's like in Princess Bride. It's Aaron.
Holy shit! Aaron, are you okay? You just drove 8 hours.
I hope he drove to the front of the hotel.
Hi.
He's on hotel Wi-Fi, so
Yeah, I'm at
this will be the quality that we
Hello.
How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, everybody. I'm in a farmhouse in Kansas. I drove around and knocked on the door and started asking people if they had Wi-Fi. No, it's a
What?
Airbnb,
True?
But
Oh, it's an Airbnb. Okay,
no,
you
it's
scared
not
me
true.
there for a minute.
It's an
That was a-
Airbnb, but it is a farmhouse in Kansas. Oh boy, I don't know if this is gonna work though. The quality is so bad.
Listen,
Well,
it's
is there any way you
okay.
can like kill your video and just be an audio boy?
Okay, I don't, Aaron. I love you. You will be sorely missed. I hate to eject anyone, but I think that since we're already rolling, and since this Wi-Fi seems like a desperate position for
We're
limited
already in a
effect.
desperate position. We can't have the desperate.
I appreciate so much that you kicked ass to get here. Are you? Hang out. Let's see if we can bring Elazar in. But
All right, yeah.
Sometimes if you turn up the video, the audio gets smooth. I don't know. I don't know if that's
I
an
don't know
option.
if he can hear us.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
on
I
a
don't even
crazy
know if-
satellite delay.
Audio is coming through.
Jill, let's
yeah,
let's
it's
talk
pretty
to
bad.
Aaron via the private chat and see if he can if his internet improves, and if he has any ideas for he is the spider. So if he has any plans, ideas, he can contribute them via the private chat as well. Rachel and Andrew, make sure you have your private chat open in case your spider sends you any
I
of
got
the
it.
plots
I've
and
got it.
plans. Yeah. But let's get back to where we were. So, Bina, are you ready?
I was about to roll. Terrifying. So, does using the gear add a dice or no?
I said the gear is going to take it away from desperate because it's not like just like
so we
jumping
moved it there.
freehand.
So at this moment,
Yeah.
I have 2 dice. I can choose to push myself here, which feels like we really need to make this one.
Well, you have 2 dice. He gave you a die. Are you counting that one? Because
I have 1 in prowl and 1 from Andrew.
Okay, great. Yeah,
So-
I think it's not a bad idea, maybe, because you want to make this one, or you're going to be
We're gonna be hurt anyway. So I
Yeah.
will take 2 stress to push myself on this one, which just adds the one dice, right? Bonus die.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, here we go. Not having Aaron here to roll these is
It's nerve-wracking.
shame here. Okay, so we got a
Aaron, roll and text Rachel
yeah,
when
right?
you roll.
don't let me roll. I'm the worst roller of our party. My high roll is a 5. Do you need
Okay.
to know? So it's
That's great. That means success with a
With-
complication.
Oh,
So let me
well.
just look at what my kind of complications I can
A
do.
little
to you.
rope burn on the hands. That's probably enough for us.
What kinds of terrible complications can I? What kind of consequence can I give against you? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I already started a clock that says that Cooper knows there's trouble.
yeah.
And when you set off a firebomb in the square beneath him, I went ahead. I'm going to make it. That's going to be a clock with. I think we're going to make it 6 segments, guys.
Oh, no.
And when you set off a firebomb, that ticked 2 segments. And now I'm going to say that you succeed in getting over there, but unfortunately, you guys both do slam against the window, and it like cracks.
God.
But you are over there.
Judd, we're here. That's just part of our
We're
plan.
shadows.
Yeah.
We're shadows. No one noticed.
You're doing okay though. You are now out on the ledge. You kind of are, you don't feel like you're going to fall anymore. You kind of got like a place to move your feet around, and now you just have to get through this window and get in. Remember, this is a stealth mission. Get in.
We know
we're flying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to rub salt in the wound. Okay. So just kind of tell me what you would do next.
How do I bring a potion along on my... I want to play by the rules this time instead of just like having stuff I'm not supposed to have. How would I have a potion? Do I have to brew those in downtime? Or because I don't see anything in my equipment list, although I do have these blanks down at the bottom. Is that the sort of thing I might write a potion in?
So I have been just playing that, like, you can just have this stuff. I don't know why, we would need, like, what was the deal? You couldn't have a chemical last time. What was the reason that you figured out? Like,
I used something that, like, it's a sample compound in the book and you're supposed to craft it in downtime. And I was just like, I have it. And I never used the downtime to craft it. So,
look, I'll tell you what. Just because I'm not positive. Let's look at loadout. What the hell, guys? Looking up rules, there's nothing wrong with it. We can just
I'm
get
looking
it
right
right
here. The bandolier, it gives you the alchemicals you can choose with the bandolier. And what I was looking for specifically was a potion of shadow essence.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, let me just look at loadout a little bit and see what it tells us. Because
I was using them a little willy-nilly on the last score, and afterward I was going through the book, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to have like half of these things.
I just don't. I don't feel like you're cheating the rules at all to say if this thing's on my loadout sheet and I want to check it off, I can do that, right? And so I'm looking at the leech carefully here, and I see that he does have a bandolier of alchemicals. And if you check that off, that'll count as one of your 5 right now.
Yep. And then he gets 3 things.
You get to choose 3 things. And then in the crafting section, there's a potion of shadow essence. Tell me what that does.
It's a potion that creates a cloud of unnatural pitch darkness.
Very good. You can absolutely have that. You can absolutely have that and activate it right now if you'd like.
I'm actually not going to activate it right now. Instead, I have a blowgun and darts with syringes, and I have a syringe with standstill poison loaded and ready because although this is a stealth mission, I feel like we may have created enough of an issue that Judd could possibly come to his window or balcony to see what is rapping at his chamber door. And if he does make an appearance, I'm going to fire this syringe of standstill poison into him.
Okay, check all of those things off because you just told me that you have them, and normally you're supposed to do it like when you pull them out, but this is fine too. Yeah, so you're on the ledge of this window. Urich is going through his bag, Bina, and pulling out all this like weird weaponry. And
but I'm still like, I have to be hanging on her.
Right? Yeah, he's checking that the shadow essence vial hasn't shattered. And you are looking at a big window. It's kind of in this beautiful Gothic style that a lot of Brightstone is built in, and it's like one of those like kind of like arched windows. It looks almost like a church window. It now has a huge crack through it. You can see into the chamber beyond, where it looks like somewhere not immediately visible there is some sort of glow globe, some sort of alchemical light illuminating the chamber. The chamber in front of you, it has like it looks like a beautiful hall of an upper crust Duskvalian. There's like a suit of armor and like a coat of arms and a big kind of rug made of some sort of beast, unidentified beast, immediately visible.
So we are not into the apartment. We are outside.
No, I'm asking you how you'd like to get in because
is it a balcony?
It's not a balcony. You are on the ledge, the recess that the window is sitting in, and this window does not appear to open. So I would like to know how you guys are getting inside from here.
Can I
is
buy another? Oh,
burglary
sorry. Go ahead.
gear. I have
Yeah.
burglary. I can get you. Is that something I can use to get in through this window? You said the window doesn't open.
It doesn't. So you want to use your burglary gear?
Yeah.
Done. Check it off on your loadout, and then let's do a little roll for this, though. I think that it matters because we are worried about this target, like kind of realizing that people are sneaking in through his window. So, oh hey, look who's back!
Hey guys, wow, I can hear you now.
Look how many pixels you have.
Yeah, all right.
You
Sorry
got some
about
hot
that.
Pixels. Don't worry about it at
Surprisingly,
all.
the rural farm Airbnb that I'm staying in tonight doesn't have as good of Wi-Fi as I was told.
Well, you know, I mean, that's where they get you, is what I say.
Yep.
So we will figure out maybe a way Elazar can come in shortly. But in the meantime, I think Elazar has prepped these guys, given them ideas and plans and plots. So anytime you want to break in and give them ideas, you go ahead. All right.
Or like roll
Okay,
some dice
perfect.
or anything. That would be good.
Can I buy a flashback to help Bina with this, or to set this up?
Maybe I want to hear what Bina was going to do first, and then
sorry. Yeah,
maybe no, it's quite all right. Yeah, go ahead, Bina.
So I have burglary gear, and I assume that's enough. So I'm having some trouble with a window that doesn't open. Is it just like a stained glass type of thing that we have?
It's not stained glass, but it is. You know, it's like large and ornate and beautiful. It looks like more like a church window. It's not. You know, he doesn't stand out here. He doesn't come out here.
Yeah. Can I use the burglary gear to like?
There's got to be a glass cutter in burglary gear.
I was gonna say to either cut this like a broken shard out of it, or like try and get through the. We've already broken it. Like it's broken.
Well, no, but so you're trying to quietly open it so that you guys can get in. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So, Aaron, I should fill you in. They have found Commander Judd Cooper's apartment. This is the guy that's in charge. That has been in charge of the relocation of the Scovelanders, and they're going to do something awful to him, and maybe stop the relocation from happening by doing that. We'll find out. But in the meantime, Bina, what action would you like to use to kind of open this window with your burglary gear?
I assume this. I think prowl's the best I can do here. Is just quietly and like infiltration type of thing.
That sounds fine. I'll let you use prowl again. Because you have the burglary gear, I was going to make it desperate because the window's already cracked. But because you have that burglary gear to kind of help with this, I guess I'll go ahead and just make it risky. So let's make it risky, and it will have limited effect. And here's what I mean by that. It's hard to open a big enough space that you guys can just walk on through. Even after you've done that, you guys will have to like somehow kind of jimmy your way through.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like you'll have to kind of shimmy rather, not jimmy. You'll have to kind of like be careful and maybe prowl some more. But
Andrew, so we don't see any more access points though, right? Like it's just, we got up to the window and that's the window.
What a great question. It looks like there's kind of a very thin ledge that runs around the side of the building that you guys could kind of move along if you wanted to another area.
That was the flashback I was hoping to buy, was to I would have loved to have come to this fancy building under the pretense of perhaps wanting to rent a unit, rent one of these floors. I'd love to know the floor plan of this sort of layout before we would have just blindly tried to get into it. I'd love to know where Judd's bedroom is, if we could find out where that window is.
Okay, so do you want the flashback?
If that's the way I have to get that information, sure.
Take 2 stress for that, and I want to just do the flashback scene for a minute. The building superintendent is looking at you through a monocle, and he's going, a floor plan? Why should you want a floor plan?
In case there's a fire. I need to know how to evacuate.
A fire? Good Lord, man. Do you know anything? Is there an arsonist loose?
You never know.
I think we might have something here. And he starts digging through all of these like architectural drawings and documents and moving them around. And then finally yes, in fact, because you paid 2 stress, he did in fact produce a floor plan for you. And so now back to the present. Urich now pulls out of his pack a complete floor plan of the building. And in fact, if you guys shimmy along this ledge, there's his bedroom is around the side of the building.
Just for flavor purposes, to sort of disguise us smacking into this window, I'm gonna try and leave Barrow by the window to kind of flap around and be a big idiot.
That's genius.
And he's gonna poop all over this awful statue. So he's gonna stay and be like, I was the idiot that hit the window, and do his business.
Yeah, there's a 5-story statue of some Empire dude
murder.
putting a lance in a Scovelander outside this guy's apartment.
Good, nice, good.
So now, 2 things are happening. One is you here below you, the superintendent of the building, looking at the fiery square and going, "Arson! The arsonists! They've arrived! There's an arsonist on the loose!" And he's like ringing a bell to get more blue coats here.
Oh,
so
God.
if you're going to move around to the bedroom, now is the time.
Yes.
Scooching. Yep.
Let's
scooching.
go.
Okay, scooching. So let me have a prowl roll. Or I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to tell you what roll. Actually, you can use any action you want.
I'd like a prowl roll.
Okay, great. This is going to be, guys, kind of risky. And it's going to be for standard effect. You'll get over to his bedroom window. How'd you do, guys?
How many dice do I roll? Just one?
You roll as many as you have in your prowl score.
Right. Okay.
A 4.
A 4? Okay, great.
4?
Oh boy, come on, dice, you stupid! Oh my god! I got it. A 3.
A 3. Okay, so that's 1 fail and 1 success with consequences. So, boy, how do I adjudicate this?
Sneaking along.
First,
like shadows.
So you guys like move along the side of this building. You can hear the superintendent shouting about arson below. Let's see. Here's what happens. Your consequence, Bina, is that someone inside sees a shadow go across the window for a second and runs over to investigate. And that puts up the Cooper knows there's trouble clock by 1 more tick. It has 2 ticks left. If 2 more ticks are done on this clock, he will be on the alert and probably try to escape or act against you. Mm-hmm. You're not quite sure who it was. You just heard Metal Gear Solid. Huh? What's that? And someone ran over to the window just as you kind of moved to the side. Urich, you, however... You, my friend, you got like completely nonplussed by this. You kind of let go of the side of the building for a second and you drop. And I think that you take, let's see here. I can put you in a worse position. I can give you, you failed. You full on failed.
I got a 3. But I had an idea of what I wanted to do if I failed. Can I try to do something as I fail?
Here,
you can try to resist what I'm about to do to you.
Okay.
You can resist the consequence, right? You guys,
we always
you know
forget
how that
to do
works.
that. We always forget to do that.
Yeah, because you're falling. I'm going to say you're falling into kind of like an area where they keep like all of their trash.
The pillows. Yeah, the pillows. Rich people
No,
love
no,
their
trash
pillows.
pillows.
Okay, just
Not
checking.
the trash. As you fall, actually, you know what? Sorry, I got to do this because we got to use the resistance mechanic. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just let this happen. You go, there's the trash, and then as you fall, you realize you're falling like to the like 3 feet to the left of it into solid concrete. You will take harm unless you want to resist this. I think you're going to take a level 2 harm, which I'm going to call like broken leg.
Well, here's what I wanted to do. If this could be how I resisted, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
But in the moment of falling, I wanted to, from my bandolier, I have a capsule of binding oil that I wanted to smash on the ledge between my hand and the wall, and which would adhere those two surfaces together and stick me to the wall.
Stick yourself to the wall.
That's what I want. That's what I want to do.
That happens, but you still have to resist my falling consequence. So would you please resist it? And
It's like
You're just
dumb
like
and
one of those
dumber,
gummy,
caliber.
like one of the gummy
that was
hands
falling
is what I'm
down.
picturing. You know what I'm
So,
talking, like the springy gummy hands.
Yeah,
Just like
totally. Yeah.
okay, so you're gonna
tell
roll.
me how to resist, and I'll do it.
Okay, you're going to roll a number of d6s equal to the attribute you're resisting with. For this, it'll be your prowess. So how many prowess do you have?
Total?
I think you have 2, right?
I have 3. I've got 2 in prowl and 1 in wreck.
Yes, but my friend, you only use that vertical column.
Oh, then I have 2.
And then you have 2. So cool. So you have 6 stress coming at you to resist this, but your highest result will take away from that. So go for it.
I take 6 stress.
No, you can't. What did you roll?
I rolled twice, right?
Yeah, you roll your 2 dice.
Yeah, there it is. Aaron's magic. 6 is my highest roll.
So if you get a 6, you actually clear a stress, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, wait, that's for a critical. You didn't get a critical. You take 0 stress. You take 0 stress from this. You do the thing you just described. You bind yourself to the side of the wall. And so then I'm going to do one other fun thing for you, because the barrow plan was so kind of ingenious, Bina, that I'm going to do a little side scene that you guys aren't aware of, where someone inside the building like kind of walks up to the window that's outside the statue and kind of looks out to see what happened to the window, and then sees this little bat flapping around out there and is like suspicious. But I'm taking away a tick of the clock, because that was very clever.
I loved it.
He doesn't think it's invaders. He thinks it's some kind of weird wildlife. So nicely done there. So here you are. You're hanging outside of this man's private bedroom. Urich is like about 6 feet below you, hanging on by one hand with his adhesive. What would you like? This is a window exactly similar to the last one you were looking at, so it does not easily open. Do you want to do that burglar's tool thing now, or do you want to do something else?
Man, I don't see another way that we can get in. Is there another entrance point that shows up on the map we have?
Yes, there is. There's another entrance point. You could get onto the top of the roof and go down through like his sort of chimney, like flue system, if you wanted to, like Santa Claus,
Santa style.
All
Hell
right.
yeah.
Santa.
That's never gone wrong either. I've never burned a player that I made stuck in a chimney doing this exact thing.
I mean, we're on the side of this building. I think the plan is to go through the window, but we already have the climbing gear. Can I use the climbing gear to get to the roof?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys could just kind of like from this point climb up higher. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll ask for
Urich. Yeah, sorry.
I'll be like, just throw me give me the end of the rope, and when you're secure, I'll climb up.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll point to my hand. I'll be like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she will try and shimmy up to the top roof and like leave a rope dangling for Urich to sort himself out.
Great. And I'm not going to make you roll for this one, because we've already done a little bit of climbing, and I think you guys have gotten your footing. So eventually you arrive on the roof, you haul up Urich, and they're waiting for you. Do I have to explain why? No, the game will explain it. Is Elazar Drakkher waiting on the roof of these apartments?
I have like pieces of brick on my hand. Elazar, hello.
Hello. Yeah, Urich is shaking pieces of cinder block off of his fingertips. So So you're all standing on the roof of Judd Cooper's domicile, his big building that he lives in Brightstone. And there is like kind of a flue or like chimney system. But because we are in a dark steampunk city surrounded by electroplasm towers and it's just a kind of a strange alternate world, I can tell you that this isn't just like a cute little ornate Victorian chimney. This is some sort of device that is like filtering certain types of air out of his apartments. Now it does look like there is some kind of steam and smoke billowing out of it. So probably he has automated amenities inside of his home, and this is sort of the exhaust for that whole system.
Mm-hmm.
And Elazar is standing right beside it, and he says,
Wait,
what is this thing?
Is this something that like filters the air? Like if we mess this thing up, or if we put something bad in it, is that something we could do?
It's a very interesting question. Why don't you tell me how you're going to figure that out? And let me also say this:
should
to
somebody
figure
else
it out, you are going to have to mess with it, open it up a little bit, look at the parts, and that means a failure means that you could alert someone inside, right?
Yep.
So, would you like to do that, or would you like to do something else? And like I said, it is possible to get into the building, like through this thing. Without kind of going through the process you're talking about right now. Excuse me while I plug in a laptop.
If I could break into his bedroom, I could just leave a syringe of poison tucked under his pillow and he'll just lie down on it.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I mean, would killing him do anything? I feel like they just promote somebody else. I guess it would really mess up the chain of command.
No play. You guys planned this days ago, though. That's not. We don't know. We the viewers don't know what you're doing right now. We the players don't either. But right now, you're just trying to get. Yeah, we're just trying to get into the building. I think because whatever you do, you're gonna have to do that first. Get into the building, or I really loved your idea about messing with the air and filtration.
Yeah,
but
I am not the one to do this, though. I maybe.
Can I? I just worry that if this
Yeah.
place starts filling up with backing up, he'll leave right away.
Yeah.
You don't know. It depends on how well you do it. Right now, you don't know how this thing works or if it's possible to back it up or mess with his air. You just know that it's some sort of exhaust for like devices and amenities inside of his home. So I guess I put on offer, would you like to try to take it apart a little bit and try to understand what it is? Or would you like to just go in like through it? Or would you like to do a third thing I haven't thought of?
Are there any entry points into like the hallway outside of his unit?
Every time I give you guys an entry point, you're like, are there any other entry points?
Another one? No, I
was going to do a backup. I was going to do like a safety
go
net
down
move.
this thing, or we tinker with this thing and try and kill him with the air.
Let me just say
those are their
you took the stress. You got a map of the complex. So I will say that yes, there's always another entryway. You said the hall outside of his apartments. Is that what you're looking to get to?
Yes,
Urich. Okay. Yes, there is another entry point to the hall outside of his apartments. You could either somehow dig through the stone layers of this roof to get in the. I don't know how you would do that.
That's what I wanted to do.
Or you could. Well, who knows? You guys have all kinds of alchemicals.
I had a backhoe delivered to this roof. We're going through the. No,
I mean, who knows? I mean, anything is possible in this game.
Don't we have a golem for this episode?
This is a mini episode, isn't it?
And we're doing like a pre-score score since we thought it was only the two of us.
Yeah, but you're Elazar Drakkher.
Okay, we don't have to blow the golem on that. It's fine.
I demand the floor. Of course you can have the golem. Of course you can. It's something you earned last time. But right now I want to know what you're doing now. You're on this roof. You've got this device in front of you, this sort of chimney filtration system. You know that you can get into the hall outside of his apartment through Urich, other windows if you want to climb down and do more shimmying around the windows, or through the main door. Okay?
Well, yeah, I'll tell Elazar and Bina, like, if I could go in the hallway, I could seal his door with that same binding oil. Whatever we do with this chimney, he won't be using his door to leave. Like you said, lock him in his apartment.
Yeah. I mean,
It sounds like planning. Why don't you just go? Why don't you get in and do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to tie a rope to something secure up here, and I would like to climb down to a one of these windows you talked about, and I would like to use my burglary tools to enter through this window to that hallway.
Okay, great. So
I would definitely be looking through the window, and I'd put my ear to it. If there's like a guard posted or a guard walking in that hallway, I would want to know that before I did any of this.
Right, of course. So that'll all be depending on how you roll, though. So you guys all meet on the roof. Bina and Elazar are kind of looking at like this weird kind of filtration system, and Urich's like, now I'll do my part of the plan that we decided on days ago, and I'm going to run and go into that window that we talked about that leads into the hall. And so he climbs down the other side because he had to go to the far side of the building, and this is the easiest way to get up there. He goes down the far side. He comes to that window, and now, Urich, what are you rolling to get inside?
I'm rolling a prowl, baby.
Give me a prowl. I'm going to say you've got your burglary tools, risky, with the standard effect that you will get in.
Great.
How many dice is that?
I believe that's only 2, right? It's just my normal dice.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody has a way to give me a dice.
I have a way to give you a dice.
Great. Oh, like a devil's bargain?
I'm going to give you a devil's bargain. I'm going to let you... I'll give you another die. But then I get to roll to see... no matter what, I get to roll to see how alert he's gotten. So you have 3 squares on this Cooper knows there's trouble. And I'll roll, and if I get, let's say, a 6, I'll fill in all 3. If I get a 4 or 5, I'll fill in 2. And if I get a 1 to 3, I'll only fill in 1. So you have to at least give me 1 square.
I'll take that bargain.
Okay, roll your 3 dice, buddy.
Because I have to. I already rolled 2 of them, and they both failed. I got a 4, was the best I got.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 4.
And now I get to roll to see how alerted he is. And I got a 6.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Here's what happens. You guys are like, you watch Urich and he's like, I'm going to go do my part of the job. And then he goes down the far side of the building. And the next thing you hear is glass loudly shattering because Urich was trying to use his burglar tools to get in and just shattered his way into the window. Like it's just like he had his weight against it and the window shattered and he fell
just Kool-Aid manned right in.
Perfect. And now Judd Cooper definitely knows that there's trouble in his apartment complex. You are sitting in a shower of glass, Urich, in the middle of the hallway, and you can even hear voices from the various apartment doors, like suddenly making noise. But meanwhile, let's go back to Bina and Elazar. Okay. What do you guys want to do right now?
No time to tinker with the thing. I think we got to go inside.
Did we hear the glass breaking?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Time to go.
Okay. We have to go through the. We have to go through the ducts.
Well, listen, you have time to tinker if you want, but I'm going to make it a new thing. So you can definitely go through the ducts if that's what you want to do, or you can tinker right now, but there's no time to figure out what it is or how it works. You just have to dive in and start messing with stuff. So you tell me what you'd like to do. Would you like to try to go into the building through the ducts, or would you try to like mess with this filtration mechanism right now? Or a third thing I haven't thought of.
I can help you study, but we gotta go.
I have no idea. I think I was asleep or something up here. I don't. Not sure.
Well, I mean, remember you can buy flashbacks, Elazar, if you want to like already know something. Or
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can I do a flashback where Elazar has researched where, like, what direction and through what exit? Or any potential secret exit our target would flee.
Okay.
And then maybe have a golem waiting for him in the shadows.
Yes. Okay. So I want you to take 2 stress for that.
Okay.
But you have the golem like basically the back door to the apartment. So not the front door that looks out on Unity Park, but like the back door. The golem is now waiting in the darkness, back by those trash cans and things where Urich almost fell and broke his back. The golem is waiting back there by the back door. That's done, but it still hasn't answered my question. Are you messing with this machine? Are you going in through the ducts? What are you doing right now? What are you doing?
Let's mess
Bina's
with
going
the
in the
machine.
Bina jumps in the ducts.
Let's go.
Bina's going in the ducts. The glass shatters. We've got the distraction we need. She tries
Let's
to
do
go.
it.
She
I'm
tries
not afraid
to go
of
in.
ducts. I was in
Okay.
the Navy.
The really kind of hack GM thing to do to you right now is to say that they're all filled with flames or toxic chemicals. I think I will do something like that. So the second that Elazar and Bina like get down into the ducts, they realize that yes, in fact, there are toxic chemicals released by whatever like refrigerator type apparatus he has down in the apartment. And so not only is it immediately freezing, but it's like some kind of like weird freon is kind of flowing up out of this thing. And so you must somehow figure out how to deal with that, because I'm going to tell you that it is going to poison you and possibly knock you out in a minute unless you have dealt with it in some way. And so Bina and Elazar, did you jump in with her?
Yeah.
I just spoke for myself.
Okay, Bina and Elazar are like moving down these ladders and through these like little tight spaces, and they're crawling through this duct, and suddenly this like ice cold frosty gas starts to like get into their nose, and it's just like Elazar, your hair, you feel like little bits of frost on it, and it feels like it's gonna knock you guys out. It's giving you an ice cream headache. What do you do?
Sure. Yeah, I think I like insisted on going. Like, it's fine. I'm fine.
God.
And so I think Elazar is still like,
all...
I'm fine. It's nothing.
So we had the map. I'll buy a flashback to we've engineered something to make this not kill us right now.
Okay, great. But you still great. What is your flashback? What did you engineer?
So we had the map to this building, and we knew that the quietest way to get in the building was going to be through these ducts. I think we sat down with Urich and engineered some kind of like goo, some kind of like filtration goo. Is that a thing?
I love filtration goo.
Please, like you just put it over your like this filtration.
Please mark it off on your loadout.
Oh yeah.
And now just mark something off on your loadout. I don't know whatever the blank spaces. And
sure, goo.
If you can, it would make me happy if you wrote in filtration goo.
Writing it right now.
Basically, you and Elazar are both having to take out these little like jars of pomade that Urich prepared for you. And
I'm
like
picturing gillyweed, like the Harry
Potter.
Oh
yeah.
Come on.
Like having to put it over like any place where you would breathe, kind of. And that is so damn cool. That's going to be, however, that required a lot of imagination. That's going to be a 2-stress flashback. Totally. And having done that, you guys continue to crawl through directly to where this is going to lead out to. But first, let's find out how Urich is going to handle the situation here. So you can hear voices alerted by how you smack. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm in the hallway, right? I've smashed at the window.
Yeah. You see doors on either side.
I know which door is Judd's.
Yep.
Is there an elevator that services this hall, or is a stairwell, or both?
There are both.
Okay. Then thinking in the moment, I'm not going to seal Judd's apartment because I'm fine with running into Judd in this hallway. But I do not want him to get away. So I will use my binding oil on the elevator and the stairs that go down from here to both prevent reinforcements from coming up and to prevent Judd from escaping. He is now trapped on this floor with us.
Great. This is going to take a little...
kidding about the lock him in the apartment.
He is 100% locked in the apartment.
He's locked on a floor. He's
locked on the floor, yeah.
So, Urich, please. This is going to require some quick work, and I can tell you that you can even hear doors opening and tenants coming out right now.
Yeah,
so,
I'd be like, go back in. Everything is fine.
Okay. What action are you using to do that?
I'm trying to sway them. I'm trying to persuade them to go back
Yeah,
in.
that sounds right. So
Everything's
a couple
fine.
of
Everything's
of like very like you hear a violin that suddenly stops and then like this like very
beautiful,
very
but everything's fine.
patricious woman, patrician, not patricious,
Ooh, that sounds
patrician woman
delicious.
sticks out her head, and then there's also like a little man with glasses that comes out and kind of adjusts his spectacles on his nose, and then you turn them and go, "Everything's fine." What are you? Who are you telling them that you are? Or are you telling them that? What are you?
I'm actually not telling them that. I'm just telling them that everything's fine to go back inside and.
And you want to use sway? Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. Do you want a devil's bargain?
Do I? Do I have to decide before I roll the 2 dice? Or can I decide after I fail both rolls and then take it?
I want you to decide before.
Gosh, I get 2 rolls, but I've rolled like utter piss tonight. I don't know. I don't know. Gosh.
You want to know what the bargain is before you take it?
Yeah, yeah. If I can find out, sure.
I'm going to add heat to the whole job, so your heat rating is going to go up. I'm going to go +1 heat for this job, and then you can have an extra die right now because people saw you.
Can I ask my companions what they think I should do? Hey. Should I do it? I don't know. I've been rolling like
we have no heat right now.
Okay, I'll do it.
We got rid of all of our heat in downtime.
You eliminated all of your heat.
Great.
So
and I'm gonna do it. 3 dice to sway. Although I mean, who cares? I'm gonna lock these people in anyway. Oh boy, come on. Okay, the best I got was a 5.
A 5. So that means that there is a consequence. So the consequence, let's see. Take a level 1 lesser harm, which is you have completely ripped off all of your skin using all of these adhesives.
Ooh.
So your hands like hurt right now. Like you keep like even when you're doing the elevator, you're like having to like shove this like very powerful adhesive in, and you're pulling back your hand, and it's just like bleeding as the skin comes
like
off.
super glue. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of like your hand is bleeding and your hands are like all ripped up. And if you're doing work with your hands, that means I can make it a little tougher going forward, maybe. But regardless, you've taken that level 1 harm. Let's gonna call it like what did they like? Glue burns.
Glue burned hands.
Glue burns.
Great.
But you did technically succeed. They don't seem like they're watching what you're doing, and they it's not that they feel like really confident with you, like you've swayed them so much, as they're like, this person is dangerous.
Perfect.
And we just need to go back in our apartment.
With either outcome, so great.
You hear a lot of bells ringing down on the street now, and you can probably guess that those are the bells that summon blue coats. I mean, come on, this is one of the best neighborhoods in the city. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to Bina and Elazar. So you finally come to the grating that you push through, and of course it pushes you out into the kitchen because you come out through the icebox, because that's what this was connected to. He has like this big walk-in freezer. You can see hams hanging, all these like succulents, bioengineered foods that are then slaughtered and are prepared for this man who loves red meat, Commander Judd Cooper. And so you're inside of his icebox right now. You're inside of his walk-in freezer, and you know that the kitchen is right outside, and you are inside of his apartment. What do you want to do?
We could go in and shoot him with a gun. I don't know.
Wow,
Yeah.
you can
Can
tell
I-
that Aaron has been driving for 8
I
hours.
am disoriented, everybody.
Dude,
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Elazar's like, I don't even know how I got here.
Yeah.
we just need the rolls, baby. We just need
Yeah.
dice in your hand. Just kidding.
I mean, I think, yeah, Bina's gonna try and find him and kill him with a knife, I guess. I don't think she should shoot him. That sounds loud.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Murdering him is completely,
right?
well, no, it's fine. But you got to understand that anytime someone is murdered in Duskfall, it creates a ghost. And when a ghost is created, the chimes at Bellwether Crematorium go off. A spirit crow is sent homing to the location, and the spirit wardens are not far behind. And if you want to talk about a group of high tier who you do not want to mess with, that is the spirit wardens. So you would be taking your own anonymity in your own hands by doing that. In no way would that be subtle anymore.
Is there a way we could like trap him in the ghost field forever? I don't know how we would do that.
I might have a way to do
You decided already, but just tell me what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what happened to Veldrin, basically, but mentally.
Can I look around for documents or anything important to him? Maybe medication. I don't know.
You know exactly where to go to get those because you're inside the house. You know that you know the floor plan of these apartments. So you know what room would be like the bedroom, what room would be maybe an office or study. You know where that sort of living room hall was with like, you know, the bearskin rug and the suit of armor. Where would you like to go in his house? If you're looking for documents, a study. If you're looking for drugs, you might go to his washroom.
So Elazar takes the study. Bina will do something else. Give me a second.
No, that's okay. Okay, so you guys come bursting out of the freezer. You're covered in icicles. Elazar runs for the study, and Elazar, you find quite a well-appointed study. As a man of letters, as a man of books, this guy is
meat and books
stacked with so many books. Tell me what action you're going to take.
They're all by Ayn Rand.
Elazar's going to get book madness again.
Well, in fact, many of them are like, you know, very much like lineages of the great families of Akaros, you know, histories of the immortal emperor, a lot of stuff that you would say would be like if someone in our world had a lot of stuff about like how great the British royal family is and stuff like that. So, but I would like to set an action for Elazar here. Are you looking for something in these books? What are you trying to do in the study here?
Sure. I don't remember why we came in here.
We never said. You just decide.
Know.
You just decide now.
True.
You can literally just go, I'm looking for something.
Yeah, I'm looking for something.
Okay, great. What action?
Anything
what
of
action?
Interest.
Great. What action are you using?
Survey?
Yes, that sounds right. Okay, so I'm going to let you do a survey action. Here is why we're even rolling for this right now. There are so many books. It could take hours and hours, but is Elazar that quick of mind enough to find where this guy would keep his like hidden goodies? And we'll find out with this survey roll. But there is some risk to it, Elazar, and the risk is I'm not going to tell you what the risk is. I'm just going to ask you to roll your survey. Sure. And I'm going to say that
great.
I'm going to say that you seem like you are in a controlled situation, but I'm actually going to say it's risky. You're in a risky situation, and you will have great effect if you succeed at this. You will find something really interesting.
I did not succeed. I rolled a 2. But can I push myself?
Well, let's see. Pushing yourself is something you, I think, normally do before you roll.
Oh, before you roll.
Let me just check.
I should have done that, but I didn't.
Let me just check. So you had one die, right? And then you just rolled the one die, and what did you roll?
2.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a consequence, and then you can try again. You didn't push yourself that time. You just started pulling books out, and at one point, you bring your hand back, and you realize that this guy has trapped his library, and that yeah, I'm not joking, and that one of the books like wasn't really a book. It just like went like click.
Ah, bees!
And all suddenly, like this metal grate starts going down to this room. You tried locking him in; he's locking you in. So you have to decide in this moment, Elazar, are you going to stay and keep looking and trust your comrades that are getting you out, or are you going to run under this grate so you don't get trapped in here? Because I'm going to tell you right now, tonight, I think the consequences have gone up. I think that if your friends don't get you out of here and you stay in here, you guys could end up at the prison. One of you could end up in prison for this job. So, Elazar, what's it going to be? You're going to keep looking and trust your friends to get you out, or are you going to slide under the door right now?
Let's see. I mean, Aaron wants to run under the door, but Elazar really loves books.
Oh no!
So
I will tell you, I have like so much stress. Like I am like, I mean, I can take more and go crazy, but I am almost maxed out.
Okay. I have no feedback either way.
I have done a lot today to try.
Oh boy!
What's it going to be, Elazar?
I will leave.
Okay, so of course to get under
leave.
it. Okay, in order to get out from under a falling metal grate, what do you think? You have to roll something. What are you going to roll? Give me an action.
Finesse?
Reading.
Yeah, study. No, I think finesse makes sense.
Finesse makes sense. Can you explain how you might use finesse? Because normally you might use like a prow to kind of run and slide under it, but finesse is usually more like fine work. You know what I mean? Like kind of like doing things that require precision. So just describe how you're using finesse to do it.
I see. I guess I was just thinking he would execute some type of forward roll that he learned in the Navy, but maybe that's not finesse.
I mean, I could let you do it, but I'm gonna be hard on you about position and effect.
All right.
Right?
Elazar will sort of try to mess with the mechanism, do some sort of fine, quick tinkers to the mechanism to make it slow down, so that he can get his old man body through it.
Okay, great. So that works perfectly. And now would you please roll finesse? And do you want to push before you do it? Because I'm going to say that this is risky.
I would like to push.
It's risky, and it will have the standard effect of stopping that door for a second. Okay. So you're going to push. So take 2 stress and add a die. And how many dice are you rolling?
2 now. That's a 6.
A 6
and a 2.
So with that 6, I'm going to tell you this. What Elazar does is he finds this book that's like clearly bound in metal and like extremely sturdy looking like thick ass like book. And he shoves that right under it. Clang! It stops it. So
nice.
now not only can he get out of there, but he thinks he's bought himself some time.
Okay.
If you wanted to try one more roll, that's what a 6 gets you.
I would. Yes, I would like Elazar will. He was just trying to slow it down, but if it looks like it's dead for a second, he'll poke around a little bit more.
Okay.
His books, they're hot. Dang.
Would you like?
Yeah, can't resist.
Would you like to go ahead and tell me what you're doing? Like, are you going to use an action to kind of survey again, or are you going to do something else?
Could I use my study for this?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I'll allow it.
I'm good at it.
Yeah. Give me a study roll, and
I'll use just my knowledge of books to be like, there's no way that's a real book. Hidden compartment.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, give me the study. I'm going to say that it's risky, but it will have a great effect. It will have a great effect.
Okay. That is another 6.
You go right.
It's
Elazar's very canny. He's very savvy. He goes directly over to where he pulled the thing that was the trap, and he feels around behind it. And yes, of course, there is a hollow compartment. And he pulls out what looks like an album, and inside of it there are all kinds of records and even like old, like, you know, they do like chemical photography here in Duskfall of like people from Scotland. And one of these people from Scotland is pictured in a lot of the photos, and a lot of these documents have to do with him. And his name is Judah Cooperman. Judah Cooperman. And he is a little man with a tiny mustache. And meanwhile, in the hallway, you are finishing up your work, my friend Urich. When, if you recall, we did fill up every tick of Cooper knows there's trouble. And you suddenly hear the sound of a cocking gun behind you. And you turn around and there's a little man with a tiny mustache. And he says, "Great. So we're trapped on the 5th floor. But you're dead. Yes? Scove? Huh?"
Can he tell I'm Scotlander? I thought I was kind of it was not obvious with my character.
Who does this guy think has a international conspiracy to fuck with him? You could be a Dagger Isles man, a full heritage, and he'd still be like, "Scove."
I'm like, no, I was trying to open it. I was just teaching violin next door, and it cut my hand. And I'll show him my bleeding hand.
No, I don't know you. Come with me, or I will blow your brains out.
All right, I'd be happy to come with you.
And he leads you back into his apartment.
Cool. As soon as he gets close to me with my venomous specialty, I will exude standstill poison at him, leaving him unable to move at all.
So, as soon as he gets close to you with your, so are you gonna grab him and you exude it, right?
No, it just comes out of my pores. Read it. Choose a drug or poison from your bandolier stock. We know I have the standstill because I wanted to use it when I was hanging on the rope outside. To which you have become immune. You can push yourself to secrete it through your skin or saliva, or exhale it as a vapor. So when he's close to me, I will exude this at him.
Take the 2 stress for pushing.
Okay.
And then, because this guy has a gun trained on you and he is suspicious of you and he's waiting for you to do something crazy and you still have to like turn and breathe on him, I think it's still a roll. And the roll is going to be, I think I'm being pretty nasty here, but you want a nasty GM, don't you? That's what we all really want. The roll is going to be
to exhale, just be like, go easy.
The roll is going to, well, let's see how nonchalant you are about it. So the roll is going to be desperate, and if you fail it or you get a consequence, he's going to pull the trigger. Okay,
right.
It's going to be desperate, but and be sure you're marking all these desperate rolls down, guys, because that you need to mark it in your playbook. Like, what action are you? Okay, well, let's make sure we're doing that. What action are you going to use to kind of? And it's not like you're doing like being tricky about it. So you can use some kind of trickery instead of like some sort of physical attack.
Yeah, I would think it'd be like a prowl, maybe. I don't know.
I'll allow a prowl. I'll allow a prowl. So it's kind of like you're kind of like just trying to like, you know, turn and breathe on him without.
No, I'm still acting like I was hired to come up here and teach violin to your neighbor. I'll come wherever you want to go. Just don't shoot
Prowl,
me.
desperate for great effect. Let's do it.
Oh boy. And since I'm pushing it, I don't also get the additional dice. The push is only for the the actual special
it's to exude it, but you could push again and get extra dice if you want. You could take
I would
4
max out my
stress right
stress,
now.
and I would like to not do that.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to roll. I'm too nervous. Okay, that one was not good. Oh boy, the best I got was a 4.
So that means you succeed with consequences, and I'm gonna roll that I'm gonna rule that you take a level 2 harm called shot in the shoulder.
Okay, I'll take it.
But you also breathe the standstill poison on him. So he's like, and it blows a hole in your shoulder, Urich, and you're like, ah! But
That's
he
where
also
it comes
is like,
out of. No.
Gross.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Just kidding.
this is him. He can't move.
Great.
So you have him standing there in the hall, and that is when you hear somebody or a lot of somebody's banging against the door to this floor. But let's go to Bina Jaffe, who we've left off. Bina, when our friend Elazar went to the study, where did you go?
I think she's hunting through the apartment, looking for either something valuable or something that looks Skovlander or anything like keys or significant to police stuff. Like
Okay,
like a badge. I don't know. Important.
Okay, no problem. Let's have her.
This is probably through like the main. I mean, we could look in like a living room, like a keys in a bowl
in the grand hall.
Sure,
yes, she's
yeah.
looking for some kind of key. And so yes, so she goes to the grand hall, and of course, here there is like pottery, in like the old, almost Grecian style of the early Akarosi. And she starts digging through it because surely they've hidden something here. And she needs to make some sort of action roll for me.
Hunt. It was the goal here.
Oh, right, great. So give me the hunt roll, and I'm going to say that it's going to be risky for standard effect. If she doesn't, if she gets a consequence or she fails, the blue coats are coming in now. But she might find something really quickly right now if she does this well. So go for it, hunt.
A 6.
Very good. So not only does she reach into one of these like Grecian urns and pull out like this kind of weird key, she immediately sees where it goes. She looks over, and where there used to be like a big, broad fireplace, like in between the bricks there's a real place where it slots right in.
Let's do it.
She turns it, chick. And yes, he did have a secret way of getting out. The golem might have missed him because a passage slides back, and you can see that there is sort of this access tunnel to all the weird kind of piping and workings of the building that leads down probably into the basement and the boiler rooms and things like that. So you have found a great way to exit this place, Bina Jaffe. And I will say that at that point, also, Elazar, you come in with your papers if you'd like to rejoin her. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And Elazar, you immediately recognize Judah Cooperman from a portrait here in the Great Hall that is labeled Judd Cooper.
He's a Skovlander.
So he's a Skovlander. Okay.
Self-hating Skov.
Can I drag him back into his apartment?
Yes, now you're all here. So,
and I will. I'll yell at Elazar. Suicide note. Regrets everything he's ever done to Skovlanders. And I'm going to put his gun in his mouth and wait for Elazar to give me the thumbs up on this suicide note.
I just want to remind you about the Spirit Wardens.
Yeah, the Spirit Wardens. I mean, if this is a Skovlander, then we have the opportunity to bribe this, blackmail this person. Yeah, I don't think killing this person is a good idea.
You guys are all kind of talking about this and arguing. Urich's like, make the suicide note. You're all kind of like, talking about this in his great hall, and you can hear that.
What are the doors made of? Are they metal or wood? that
Very
lead up
heavy,
there?
very heavy wood. I'm making a clock
Can I take it?
I'm making a clock called the Blue Coats Break In. It has 4 segments, and based on what you roll next, any consequences are filling up pieces of that clock. They are trying to get in through Urich's sealed doors right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Bina.
That's okay. Can we take him with us? Do we
No reason you can't.
He's a little guy. Like, we've got him frozen. Can we take
The
him with us?
paralysis is temporary, and it doesn't say how temporary in the book. It just says temporary.
I'm gonna use the climbing gear. Try and tie him up.
Okay, great. You do that.
Great. And then I think it's time to go.
Sure, we can take him with us and figure out what to do with him later.
We got to get out of there, right? Those blue coats are coming, and this has already been the least sneaky ever, and we're very bad at being sneaky.
Is there some way we can throw them off our scent when they do come in?
The bat's done enough. All right.
We could leave a suicide note.
Leave a suicide note.
All right.
Sure. Let's try.
Okay.
But don't reveal he's a Scovelander. Or did you tell me?
Elazar is quickly writing a suicide note.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to blackmail him, we should leave it a secret.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. So there's no suicide note. Are we escaping down that secret passage, Bina?
That was
what are
my
we doing?
point,
Yes,
Yeah.
we're going down the secret
Bina
passage.
grabs
for sure.
the guy. You're all going down the secret passage, but of course you got to move quickly because they were breaking in, and so I just want one more action, and someone can lead this action. But carrying a guy, getting down into this, basement, closing the door behind you so it's hard to find you, all of that requires an action. Who's going to lead that action?
Not me. I was shot in the shoulder, and now I'm bad at things.
Bina's got a guy over her shoulder. She can lead this one.
Okay,
She's
great.
already leading the charge down the stairs.
Bina, what action would you like to use?
Prowl.
We gagged him too. We took, a piece of fabric.
He's
So here's my thing. I'm going to let you use Prowl, but we've been using Prowl so much this time that the
It's so
GM
good.
has. It's a great one, but the GM has a little bit of a little trick he can do, which is I think that Bina, all the climbing and running and swinging, it's starting to kind of Bina's a little bit of an older gal,
she's
right?
an older professor. She's
Wear on your muscles,
40s.
and right now you're carrying a full man, and so I'm going to say that this is going to be this is going to be desperate. Meaning if you fail this, something very bad is going to happen. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. But you will have standard effect if you and be sure to mark a prowess XP for a desperate action. You will get him to the bottom.
I assume that filling up my prowess XP doesn't matter right now.
Not at the moment, but it's about to matter when we get back to downtime.
That's what I figured.
Oh, so that's what these little XP marks are for every desperate action we make. We fill those in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No,
I've
I'm
been playing
sorry.
this game very wrong.
Yeah. It's a thing of beauty, the Blades in the Dark character sheet. Bina, are you leading this action?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Teamwork. If you are leading a group, each team member makes an action roll, counting the best result. The leader takes 1 stress for each 1 to 3 result. So everybody needs to prowl right now, I think. And then if anybody gets a 1 to 3, Bina is going to take stress.
I have nothing in Prowl.
And I lose a dice for being shot in the shoulder, so I can only roll once.
Okay,
so can't give dice to anyone.
Aaron, your character rolls 2 dice and takes the worst result. And my friend Urich, you roll that 1 die.
Well, I got a 3.
I got a 3 too.
Oh, Christ.
You take 2 stress, Bina.
Well,
how did you do?
I rolled a 6, so
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm literally put the guy on my back here.
You guys are now in the
sort of having to carry everybody somehow.
You're in the basement of this kind of whole complex. It's dark down here. There's all those wire cages where people have storage. You can see old, Louis the 14th type beds and, people's like decorations for certain festivals, and Duskfall are down here and it's all locked up tight. And you're kind of like literally getting out of like a boiler with him over in your arms. And so I believe that it looks like really well done. You've gotten away lock, stock, and barrel with blackmail evidence against him and the man himself. And so now I will just ask, where are these three taking Judd Cooper, alias Judah Cooperman?
A quick question before we go into that. I have filled my stressometer.
From that?
Yeah.
You're out.
Those two stressed me all the way out.
Bina got you guys out. Wow, what happened so Bina got you guys all the way down into this cellar, and then like she just kind of like keels over, like from exhaustion, like from carrying this guy, from fucking getting poisoned, from smacking into a wall and all this stuff. Bina's just like kind of like, I can't go any farther, or however you would role play it. Sorry, Rachel. And then yeah, and so you guys now have to carry Bina and this guy to get them out of here.
Oh, we need your golem, Elazar. Where's your golem? We can't carry both of these.
He's in the back.
All of a sudden, these doors open. The golem walks down, lifts Commander Cooper, lifts Bina, and then back out into the night.
Right.
And you all follow him
separately.
Perfect.
You have to tell me where you're taking this guy.
Back to the old bookshop, right?
Okay, great. So now, yes. So the score is over. And what treasures you have unearthed. But we're gonna have a final
cost.
Yes, totally right. Because this will just be a role-playing scene, Bina, you can participate. It's just like Bina, like Urich is shot. Bina like looks very white, her bat is trying to kind of like bring her around. She seems dizzy. Elazar looks like he's been driving all day, speeding down a highway through Kansas. And you're all standing around this guy who's still standing holding, like, you took the gun out of his hand, but he's still like this. And you know that pretty soon that poison is going to wear off. And you must now, you can discuss, because our score is over. This is maybe a part you hadn't planned. You must decide what you're going to do with him, what you're going to say to him, because in a moment, in just a few minutes, you know that he will be able to move again. So tell me. Go ahead.
It's a Skovlin traitor?
Looks that way.
We could trade him to Ulf Ironborn?
We could.
What if we send him back? If we know his deepest secret now is that he's actually one of us. Isn't it valuable to us to have him participating in his position?
Yes, perhaps he'd be amenable to working for us instead of against us.
I don't know if amenable is the word, but I think we can.
Didn't we hire ourselves out to every gang in the city to kill this guy?
Yeah, that's how you're going to get coin from it. Or not to kill him, just to kind of take him out of the picture, which is probably why, part of the op was like capturing him right now.
Oh, okay. You
can't
specifically had to kill him.
You can murder him if you want, Elazar. I just will stress again the Spirit Warden kind of issue. So you can if you'd like. But right now you have it.
Whisper, I don't think we should be murdering anybody.
No, it's not any specific desire to murder that I had, although this guy
Urich does have that specific desire.
I'm just sort of like, still have his pistol, and I'm like, any of these alleys would do. I mean,
well, you're back in Drakk's books, but yeah, you could drop him in any alley, yeah.
So we have him. We have him captured, and we are like we have proof that he's here, right? We can get money out of
Yeah,
him,
we
and
should
potentially
blackmail him.
Did we
I
put a
think
hood
I
on
think
him?
we
We
should
didn't.
black-
We're
I
so
think-
dumb.
I think
He knows what we look like and
we
where our hideout is.
I mean, what we have good blackmail, guys. Jeez.
You could put a hood on him. Let's say he doesn't know where he's at right now.
Okay,
You put a
great.
hood on him.
Sure. Yeah.
I
he
I'll
knows
give you
you're
that.
a
I'm going to
good
give you that for free since you
Okay.
thought of it.
I think that was what we do. We have the one thing he doesn't want everyone to know. This is the one thing that could ruin his whole life, his fancy apartment above the park, his position as head of the police, his all of this. We have the one thing that they cannot know.
You don't think it'd be his word against ours?
No, we have the photos.
We have pictures.
Suddenly he goes, "They're fake.
Huh.
Why would I keep something like that? You
I don't know.
fools." He's like,
Why would
suddenly
you
his
keep
arm
something like that?
kind of moved. Yeah, he's like, "I didn't. There was a cachet of trance powder in that library."
Mm-hmm. You're sentimental for the old country, just like all of us.
I hate
Why would you-
ghosts?
Mm.
I hate you.
Sure.
You come here, you bring your diseases.
Why would you have a fake identity as a Scopelander?
I don't. Someone planted it. Probably
In your booby-trapped library, you're
one
right.
of your other Scove gangs.
Uh-huh.
Well,
No.
Well, I suppose we just let your fellow blue coats decide if that's true or not.
I think they would treat you kindly, just with even a whisper of Scoveland blood. I doubt it.
I don't think it'll matter if they're fake or not.
So we have
What
a couple of
matters is what
options,
people think.
Jed. We can leave you, the head of the police, in a Scoveland alley to any number of gangs who are happy to have you. Or we can send you home.
Okay, all right, you're right. Okay, I am Scove. I am from Scoveland. I'm sorry. Okay, I had to do what I had to do to survive. I think you know a little bit about that. And look, now you have a friend. Yeah, you have a friend on the force. I can do things for you. Right? Imagine this. You're the only Scoves in Char Hollow. Huh? That is an advantageous position. Once Ironborn has been taken out of the picture, which, believe me, is next on my list. So, think about it that way.
What's the equivalent of what an unlikely flip from this this little stooge? Is there some way I can kind of ascertain if he's being forthright or not?
Give me an action roll. Which one are you going to use?
Oh gosh. I don't know. What would I mean, it has to be one that I have more than one dice in because I have minus one dice.
Maybe one of your friends wants to. Maybe one of your crewmates can do something.
Yeah, I could try to consort with him.
Exactly. Yeah, that would work. You
Be
want to
like,
try that?
Listen, from Scovelander to Scovelander, you wouldn't want to tell a lie right now, would you?
Yeah, that's
Golem
good,
reflexes.
Elazar. Give me a consort roll to see if you can figure out what kind of game he's playing here.
Sure.
I could also use a drug and maybe open
That's
them
6, baby.
There it is.
The kid. Welcome
Minus
back.
6. Rolling more than one die works out.
Not for me.
You talk to him for a while. You're like, you don't really want to lie right now. That was a controlled situation just now, and that's why you got your big 6. And so let me know exactly what you want to know from him, Elazar. Exactly what you want to know about him, and I'm gonna let you gather all that information.
I want to know what he'll do if we let him go, and what he thinks he can do for us, and more importantly, for the Skovlan people of Duskable to redeem himself for what he's done.
Okay. You consort with him for a while in this sort of kind of chummy way, you know, like we're friends here, so you wouldn't lie to a fellow Skov, right?
And the golem is like standing behind me.
Right. And he basically tells you his entire story. That during the Unity War, you know, before the Unity War, his family, when Skovlan was just Skovlanders, his family were dirt poor. He mentions his like sort of like caste that he was in, you know, because there was a bit of a caste system over there back in, you know, many years ago before the Unity War, and they were treated like, you know, trash. They weren't allowed to have good jobs. And so when the Akarosi came in, I mean, of course, he, you know, and he was like a child. He was like 6 or 7, like when he started like informing on his own people during the Unity War. And he basically explains that, you know, the only people that were ever good to him were Akarosi. So, of course, when he got the opportunity to finally come to Duskfall, he came as an Akarosi. And he came as a leader and would never let himself fall down that low again. And you know that you've had to make decisions like that too, that all of us that have come here have had to make decisions like that. So how dare you judge him? So no, he will not stop the relocation. So now what?
Elazar, I believe you had a note to pen, and we can go ahead and take Judd to a quiet place where he perhaps had his final thoughts and his deepest regrets over the relocation. Perhaps he can tell his fellow Bluecoats and Duskfall at large what a mistake he made to even concoct this plan, and his regret is so marrow deep that the only solution for it was to take his own life. Something like that, anyway. But I could take him on the walk.
What if I disappear?
You will.
What if I live? One Skov to another.
I'm not talking to a Skov.
All right, it's up to you guys now. What's your decision? He's not regretful. He has no remorse. He'll continue the relocation no matter what, but he would like for you to, instead of murdering him, just kind of let him go away. And he says he will go away, and Elazar, your consort 6, does let you believe that. He's not going to try to continue to be Judd Cooper anymore.
What are the spiritual consequences of leaving someone in an alley and calling another gang?
The spiritual consequences? Well,
Yeah.
if you didn't kill them, it'll be harder for the spirit wardens to track you, but there's still a slight chance. I mean, they basically have to solve the mystery of how a ghost was created.
Sure.
We could make peace with someone like Ulf Ironborn, who is a true Skov, son of Skovland.
Yeah, peace
We could
offering with Wolf. That's quite the peace offering.
No, don't give me to Ulf. Don't do that.
Why not?
You think
Because he's an animal.
You're an animal.
He's who I'm fighting against. Not people like you. Like, it's Ulf. Don't do this.
You who would turn against your own people, you who would abandon your nation in its time of need, you who would drive the women and children of your home country into a slum. Why?
I was going to give you the mercy of a lead shot to the head, but Ulf's going to treat you like a cat with a roach.
He looks terrified, and now you must tell me what the three of you do. What do you do? It sounds like he's going to Ulf.
I'm comfortable with that.
We make some ties with Ulf. We don't get in trouble from the spirit wardens, and
Not yet, anyway.
piece of this piece of rat dropping gets the worst death probably possible.
So I would like to frame a final scene. You have found Ulf's people. Of course, it's easy for you to do because you did it through Bina's boys, who formerly worked for Ulf.
That's right.
You are in Ulf's headquarters. You have been dealing with his lieutenants, but after they see who you've brought and hear why you've brought him, you were given an audience with the man himself, Ulf Ironborn. You go into he's in like a tenement in Char Hollow. It's like, just these tiny one-room apartments, but he owns an entire floor at the top. And you go into one of the rooms, and he doesn't have like a desk. He's not like a kingpin type. He's got just like a room where he kind of crashes out. You see lots of empty liquor bottles. You see like some of his men playing cards nearby. He's got a big top hat, a thick mustache, and tattoos that proclaim his Skovland heritage. And he says, "My brothers and sisters, you have been good to me. Come here." And he kisses Elazar on the head. And he kisses Urich on the head. And he kisses Bina Jaffe on the head. And he goes, This is a great gift. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. What boon would you have of me now? You just saved me a lot of gunpowder. I was going to blow up a station. You notice that he is kind of half in the bag right now. And in fact, he takes a flask and...
Yeah.
Name something I can give you.
What is his specialty? Does he have one? We're shadows. What is Ulf's faction?
Bravos. And all of his guys are covered in blades, and Ulf himself is just rippling with muscle. The only person that didn't seem like a Bravo was his second in command, who very much seems to run the business side of things. But Ulf looks like just a guy that gets into back alley knife fights.
We
Name it.
Perhaps.
What can I do for you?
Perhaps we have a debt yet to be paid?
Fair enough.
We'll think of something.
The bond of our blood is even stronger now because we understand each other. Here. And he pours you out all this this weird kind of rice wine that comes from Skovland. And he's like, share a glass with me. Skovland for Skovlanders. Duskfall for Skovlanders.
Yeah, I'll take that shot.
Absolutely.
No,
and I'll point to the Jed. I'll be like, don't bother taking his gag out. He doesn't have anything interesting to say.
I don't know. We kind of want to listen to the screams. And he nods at his men, who then carry Judd off into a dark room. And as you're enjoying the last little bits of your wine, you hear one of Judd's screams shriek out through the night. And that's where we'll end for this evening.
Yay!
Yay! They're torturing self-hating,
a pretty bad guy.
A bad guy.
He had an apartment above a statue of a Skovlander getting murdered. This guy is so
This
bad.
guy sucks, and I feel absolutely not the smallest amount of remorse.
The whole time you were talking to me, it was like I was playing a role. Guys, thank you for making that such a fun game. I felt rusty at first, but man, once we got rolling, it was just a blast.
All pro, baby.
Aaron, let's have a special digital round of applause for Aaron Urist, who made it here no matter what,
guys.
baby.
And he got that 6 at the end, so we knew to kill that guy. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, thank God.
Perfect.
Yes,
you guys didn't let him. Yeah.
No, you guys, you in the end, you did it. You hit all your marks, and you probably have a plus with Ulf Ironborn now, a couple pluses. on your faction tracker. But mostly, I'm just excited I get to play with great players like these: Andrew Orvedahl, Rachel Weeks, and Aaron Urist. I'll say goodbye for right now, guys. Thank you so much. See you later. And I'm going to hang out for just a second and give my. Well, actually, Jill, I actually don't have my show notes open. I'm a mess tonight. Hi, can you help me with what's I got? I can do. Can you help me just a little bit? I can probably go with what's coming up. And then you can help me if I forget anything. Does that sound okay?
Absolutely. I'll follow along with my notes here.
Okay, great. So, guys, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, we are back. We are back with more Vampires of Pittsburgh, a story we are calling the Philadelphia story. Our coterie, Lucius, Jen Brown, and Curtis have traveled, a very dangerous thing for Kindred to do. They've traveled to Philadelphia, and they are trying to recruit their own followers to kind of create a new society in Pittsburgh, but they need bodies. And when talking about vampires, we literally mean bodies. So tune back in for part 2 of that story tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, our normal time. This Tuesday, I mentioned at the top of the show, but I'll mention it again, Valley Heat. Before you watch Andrew play his really cool, ingenious little game, go ahead and do yourself a favor and listen to a couple episodes of the podcast so you see exactly what kind of brilliant world this game takes place in. All I'll say is it's a mystery game, kind of about gumshoes solving the most lowest stakes mysteries imaginable, which actually plays really well as a role-playing game because I got to play it once. So that's 7 p.m. on Taste of Blood Tuesday. 7 p.m. Pacific Tuesday on the Taste of Blood. And what else? What am I missing, Jill?
Well, I have a note here that Clint Trucks and Brian Baldinger have they like the Valley Heat podcast. I guess it's based on that.
Yes.
And
right.
More next Saturday is more Blood and Blades with the Weird Sisters.
Yes, the Weird Sisters will be back, and there were some questions in the Discord. What happened to the Tin Whistles? We are still running scores with the Tin Whistles. Unfortunately, our little bit of schedule snafu last time means that we just have to go around the whole cycle again until we get to the Tin Whistles again before we can have them back on. Those guys are very busy at the Glass Cannon, but do yourself another favor, viewers, and go and look at some of the announcements they've made recently, some of which we are involved in. I'll be running a 10-episode Dungeons & Dragons arc with Ross Bryant, Claire Grant, Nora Ibrahim, and Sydney Emmanuel from the Glass Cannon. I'll be running that coming up here at the end of June and into July. And then the Glass Cannon also announced that we are going to be working on a Dune game together using Modifius's Dune. So that's just some fun things to keep in mind for the future. We don't have exact dates on that stuff yet, but that is why the Tin Whistles, we have to wait till later. They're just so damn busy. Okay, I'll say that Jill created all this beautiful graphic design work for us. I want to thank her. Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome. I'm just so delighted.
Yes.
I'm so appreciative that you say my last name correctly. That's incredible. That doesn't happen very often.
You just have to say it with confidence and get corrected 3 times. Not by you, by I think Clint. I will say we have a merch store, which Jill also kind of helped us design and put together. So check that out. There we go. There's Jill's Blood and Blades t-shirt. You guys should get it black on black. That's the way to do it in Duskfall. You guys should go to the merch store. Check out what we have there. We've got stuff for the Neptune Society. We've got stuff for Vampires of Pittsburgh, Blood and Blades, all weird stuff. We have a grouper mug. If you're a vampire viewer, you know what that is. So go and check all that out because I'm just so goddamn proud that we have all that stuff. That's a threadless. I think you just do you know what the URL is, Jill?
Oh, I should put that up. That's my job. Hello.
No, that's okay. We'll just throw it in the chat. Or right there. That's perfect. So go to our merch store and grab up that stuff. And I will thank Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks, my producing partners, Megan Arch, our social media manager. And I will thank all of our players tonight. I already did that. And I'll thank you, the viewers, for being here and coming out for this on a Saturday night. One last thing I'll say before we sign off is we're thinking about maybe moving this night now that people are maybe not quite as confined in their homes. We think that maybe Saturday night might not be our Blood and Blades night a couple months from now. So if you have thoughts on that, please feel free to sound off in the comments or in the Discord. That's it for us. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, happy gaming, you sons of bitches. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.